So we are almost at the halfway point. Wow, week 7 of the NFL already starts tonight. So what I want to do here, I want to go through a list of teams. We're talking about contenders and pretenders. Some will be maybe Super Bowl, some will be just playoffs. So let's start here. They don't look the same. Rico, you said this yesterday. They do not look the same. But are the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl contenders still in your mind?
No, I don't. I think they'll make the playoffs, but they'll get tripped up, maybe even in the divisional round. They just keep barely winning, and just they don't have that same dominance. So I don't know if it's Bieniemy being gone or Andy Reid just giving too much control. David, they do plays. It's like that was totally unnecessary. Why not just line up and run a play rather than do the little ring around the rosy? Like, it's something wrong with that team, but no, I don't think that they're Super Bowl contenders.
I'll still say they are, just because if you have Pat Mahomes, you can win any game you take the field with. I can't argue anything Rico's saying. I happen to agree with most of it. But if you're asking for contenders, meaning are they one of the 3 teams that I would put in that Super Bowl out of the AFC, I'm still going to say yes.
Next on the list, let's go to the NFC. Question marks. Well, a couple of people on this show have had question marks regarding this quarterback, and he showed himself against the Cleveland Browns last week, and then they're dealing with injuries with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. But it's San Francisco 49ers. Are they still Super Bowl contenders?
God, yes. The hell kind of question is that? Yes, they are. They're the singular best team in pro football. They lost a tough game to an elite defense in Cleveland. They got a couple injuries. Everybody does. But again, they're number 1 with a bullet in the NFC. Yes.
I'll leave it to what Mike said because I may be biased, but I thought it was a ridiculous question. But, David, you're just doing your job. But kindly, sir, see your way out. Never question them again.
Never question them again. Let's move back over to the AFC. They are 5-1, first place in the AFC East. The Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl contenders.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe as well.
Provided they get some home games in the playoffs now. What you don't want is Miami having to go to Kansas City or Buffalo in the freezing cold with that offense. That's got blown out hamstring written all over it.
Especially Buffalo. Kansas City, maybe you get lucky. It's in the high 40s. Buffalo, forget about it. It's 20 degrees already.
Next team on the list, there's been question marks about them all year. They did lose their first game on Sunday. The team themselves, even Hurts has said they haven't been playing their best football. Philadelphia Eagles, are they still a Super Bowl contender?
They kind of remind me of Kansas City. So if that's the case, then I have to stay consistent and say no, because they don't seem like the same team. And when you go, the team that loses the Super Bowl normally has a horrible year, or at least a bad off year the next following season anyway. No, I don't think that they are. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll be going back to the Super Bowl.
David, I've been saying it since summer. Losing Shane Steichen, losing Jonathan Gannon, both coordinators, and then replacing 5-6 starters on defense with kids. I actually don't think they are. I think the Lions are going to end up surpassing them in the next few weeks. The Eagles are going to lose several games. They don't look right to me.
So I'm going to finish off.
I'm going to regret that opinion, aren't I?
Eagles, Chiefs.
Yeah, 16-1.
I've gone through half of the current first place teams. I'm going to finish it off and just list the rest of them outside of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, we know they're not Super Bowl contenders. The Ravens, the Jags, Lions. Out of the 3, who
Lions.
would be the okay?
It's not even a question for me. The path, the NFC, I really feel like there's only one team I would fear, which is San Francisco. I think the Lions, schedule-wise, have an opportunity to get the 2 seed, to get the home games. And if you bring a team to Ford Field, I'm going to pick you to win it. So I'd say the Lions.
See, for the Lions, I would say the Lions as well, David. The only problem I have with the Lions is I don't want to happen what happened with the Vikings last year, where it just seemed like you just kind of ran away with the schedule. Playoffs were a different animal, and you were ill-equipped and lost that very first game. And the whole season kind of just went out the window. We forget they were 13-4. Only thing you remember, you lost to Daniel Jones and the Giants at the crib. But between those 3 teams, not quite sold on Jacksonville yet. Baltimore is a giant wild card. Some weeks you're like, yeah, they got it all together. And then other weeks you're like, huh? You lost that game? So consistency, yeah, I'd say the Lions between those three.
Well, speaking of being a wild card, I'm going to put these next two teams in the same category here. Buffalo Bills, they have won their division year after year after year. Now they're in second place. You already said the Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders. Then you have the Dallas Cowboys. They're in second place as well. They always fight to be first place in the East. They just can't get there. What do you do with both of those teams?
Throw them in the garbage.
With the Cowboys and who?
I think
the Bills.
I think the Bills have a real problem on their hands. Tre'Davious White out for the year with the Achilles. Matt Milano, who's an ace in coverage as a linebacker, gone. And offensively, again, I'm not knocking the greatness of Josh Allen, but when I watch them week in and week out, I see a lot I don't like, and they still don't want to run the ball. I'm out on the Bills.
Yeah, I'm out on the Cowboys.
That goes without saying.
You could just count on it's just self-destruct, and I'm only sticking around to see how the Cowboys will end their season this year.
Zeke launched out of a cannon snapping will not be an option.
Because hey, you know what? We have no timeouts. Let's run a quarterback sneak in the middle of the field and slide.
I like it.
Next year, Zeke, just you hike the ball like we're playing on the playground. What? Yeah, just do it. It'll work.
Okay, so the last teams on this list we'll go through, not talking about Super Bowl with these teams, but can they finish the year strong possibly and be a threat to maybe win a playoff game?
Let's hear it.
Let's start with the Cleveland Browns.
100%. If you have that type of defense, you can win any game, any week against anyone.
Especially if you get a game at home.
And Watson has returned to practice today.
I don't necessarily care about that part. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to say no. Geno Smith is not processing right now. I mean, he is holding on to the football and taking huge hits, taking huge sacks. He's not getting rid of it, which means he's not seeing it. You also have a little bit of a tiff here with DK Metcalf going on. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say no on Seattle.
I'm going to say yes.
Texas?
Because I do think that they will get that tiff worked out. He's going to realize, you know what, DK, that's job security. How about I get him the ball? So, yeah, I'm going to say yes.
And then we could just laugh at the last two, Rams, Steelers. No shot for them, right?
Rams could.
Rams could.
Nakua, Kupp, Stafford playing good ball. McVay getting in touch with the ground game. Problem for them. Kyron Williams going to be out for
a few weeks.
I mean, hey, McVay is telling this kid when to be born. You will not be born.
That is correct.
On the game. Don't even think about it. You'll be on punishment. I wonder if any kid has ever been punished coming out of the womb.
I don't think you can do that. And that is in football today.